Hey y'all, a winning combination here and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, thanks so much for clicking on this video. I'm excited you decided to come and hang out with me. And if you're somebody who's clicked on my videos a time or two before, or you've even taken the step to subscribe, then thanks for coming back. We're sure to have a fun hangout today. So I've seen all of these wrap with me videos and I was like, hey, I could use somebody to chat with while I wrap all of these presents. So I figured you and I could wrap together. So maybe you'll throw this on while you're wrapping. And for us to have something to talk about while we're wrapping, I thought what better than to revisit some of the gifts of Christmases past, even maybe a couple birthdays past, to talk about what were hits, what were misses, and what were kind of mid in terms of how my girls reacted to some of the presents that I bought them. So grab your wrapping paper, grab your gifts, grab your tape, your scissors, your tags, whatever it is that you need, and let's hang a bit, wrap these gifts, and talk about how some of the past gifts were either rave reviewed by my girls or maybe got a side eye. So see you shortly. Alrighty, so if you're new here, again, my name is Brandy. I'm a mom of 3 girls, ages 2, 6, and 9. They have a variety of interests. If you haven't checked out my What I Got My Girls for Christmas video, I encourage you to go back and do that so you'll see some of the stuff that I'm wrapping here. But since I filmed that video, one of the things that I've gone back and got my 2-year-old was this Disney Darlings doll. So I had originally got one of these for my niece and I was excited to give it to her, but I kept having mom guilt, mom remorse, like, oh man, I should have got my 2-year-old one. She would probably love it too. But by the time I went back to look and find them, sold out. I could not find this lovely doll anywhere, at least for the price that I originally paid for it for my niece. Finally, on Black Friday, I was out shopping with my in-laws, my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, and I looked up on the shelf, on the top shelf of Walmart, and there was one. Even though it said that Walmart was out of stock, whatever, I looked up at the top. It pays to be tall sometimes. There was one, so I grabbed it. So this is just in addition to the gifts that you may have seen in my What I Got My Kids for Christmas, but this is one of the hot toys of the year, and I'm glad I was able to find another one. So now my daughter is getting this instead of the crybaby that I showed in my other video. The crybaby is now her sibling gift from one of her sisters. So this is what she's now getting from mom and dad instead. So I'm really excited that I was able to find it. And I will say from some of the Christmases past with my older 2 daughters, I have gotten them dolls, and the dolls have mostly been a miss to this point. So I had tried the Baby Alive dolls. So for my middle daughter, who's 6 now, I had gotten her a Baby Alive doll, like twin sister and brother set. If I can find a picture of the stuff that I'm talking about, I will certainly post it on the screen for you to see. But I got her one of those and she did not take to it. I got diapers to go with it, all the shebang, like all the Baby Alive accessories. No, she was not interested. So Baby Alive for my girls was not a success. Later on, I think last Christmas actually, or the Christmas before, I got her one of the Disney ILY dolls. She had never expressed interest in and I'm talking about my 6-year-old still. She had never expressed interest in the Our Generation or the, what do you call them? Goodness, American Girl dolls before, but she was kind of getting into more like stereotypical, like I like to call it, girl stuff. So I thought, okay, let's give the Disney ILY dolls a try because she likes her Disney stuff. You'll see I'm unwrapping this because I did not measure that correctly. So we'll have to use this piece for something else. But I got it for her. She played with it maybe Christmas Day. And then, yeah, we stuffed it in the toy box, never to be seen again. So I am really hoping that my 2-year-old will take to dolls. She's kind of showed an interest in one of the baby dolls that I have kept since I was a little kid. It's like kind of almost a reborn doll. If you know what Lee Middleton dolls are, my mom got that for me when I was a kid. It's one of my big Christmas gifts because I was into dolls, unlike my girls. And so my 2-year-old has recently started playing with it and acting like maybe she's interested. So fingers crossed that this Disney Darling doll is something that she wants to play with. So as far as most dolls in my house, they have been a miss, a major miss on Christmas, even if mom was super excited to get them for them. So I tend to stay away from dolls, but a couple exceptions. Like I shared in my What I Got My Kids for Christmas videos, they've gotten Rainbow High dolls, and this year my 6-year-old is Barbie obsessed. She has asked my in-laws for everything Barbie. I'm talking, let's see, she wants Barbie houses, Barbie cars, Barbie dolls, Barbie clothes. So she's gonna be Barbied out. And they also do Rainbow High. Forgive the crinkle of the wrapping. But I'm not a good rapper, so also don't judge my rapping skills. I just rap enough that it looks nice on Christmas morning because they're gonna rip it off anyway. I am not the aesthetic rapper, so if you look at my gifts at the end and you're like, oh my goodness, what is Brandy doing? Just act like you didn't see it. So, yes, what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Barbie dolls and Rainbow High. So I think the Rainbow High dolls and the Barbie dolls are going to be a huge hit this year. And again, the Rainbow High was a hit last year, so she's getting more from us. And my oldest is getting some too, because even though she has never been my doll girl, she is recently been playing Barbies with her sisters. So I think that's going to be a hit this Christmas. So well, let's see, what else has been a huge hit from Christmases past? Anytime we have done play food of any type, especially the Melissa and Doug. I am a huge advocate for the Melissa and Doug play food. My girls have loved it. So I highly encourage you, if you have not invested in Melissa and Doug play food, to do so. I love it. My sister is actually, I think I mentioned this in my What I Got My Kids for Christmas video, is refreshing their kitchen items. So she got them a bunch of play food from Melissa and Doug, off-brand kind of stuff, and from Learning Resources. I also love Learning Resources play food. I know they make a lot of learning food, or like not learning food, learning toys, but their food, which is also meant to be learning for like imaginative play, their stuff is actually pretty quality. Even though it's not wooden, it's stronger grade like plastic, so it doesn't tear up easily or get crunched easily if they step on it. So I really like Learning Resources food too. So that has always been a hit. Now, what has been a miss is any type of play food that is cardboard. I do not know what my kids think cardboard play food is meant for, but it's clearly not for playing. They chew it, they tear it, they find anything they can do to destroy it, so then it ends up being pointless in their play kitchen. Stay away from cardboard play food if you can. That would be my suggestion. But anytime they've gotten mostly any type of play food, I think I did it again, y'all. But anytime they've gotten any type of play food, it's mostly been let's see if I wrap this right. It's mostly been a success. So I encourage my sister, since she insisted that I had to keep the kitchen, and that is something that's also been a success. My sister got my eldest a kitchen when she was 2.5, one of those like kid craft play kitchens. I'll insert a picture because I'm sure I can find a picture of that thing. But she got one of those, tried and true, loved tremendously by my girls. It's been through 3 kids, still standing. It's got a couple scuffs and bumps, but for the most part, still looks really good. And so since she insisted that I could not give it away, the girl, because I was redoing the girls' room, if you're wondering why I was trying to give it away. But since she insisted I could not, I went ahead and asked her to refresh their play food because a lot of it's been broken, lost, destroyed in some way. So they're getting a kitchen refresh as part of their Christmas from my sister. And my sister went overboard this year. Now, I'm glad my girls have an aunt who loves them and wants to spoil them, but they are going to be so blessed this Christmas season from my sister and my brother-in-law. So I'm excited for them to be able to open all the goodies that they're getting from them, but one of those is play food. So if you are still looking for gift ideas or you're wondering what to get a kid in your life, generally if they are, you know, younger than like the preteen, teenage stage, you can probably get away with play food if they're into like imaginative play and cooking and such. That's been a huge one with my girls. Let's see, what else do I have to wrap for my youngest? I think I'll try this Disney Darling again. Might have to clear some space to get enough room. But that has been one of the things. Let's see, what else? I should have made a list. I was ill prepared because most of this stuff I can remember from memory. I will tell you about one of the biggest misses, and that is why I avoided it when I saw they came out with like a bluey version. That was the oopsie poopsie game, or the little poop toy that like plays hide and seek with your kids. I thought my kids would find it hilarious because they like the poop emoji. They did not play with that toy beyond Christmas Day. By the time we got around to, because we have a couple times during the year where mommy asked them to gift their toys to other little kids who need stuff to play with. It was one of the first things that they put in the pile. Like, oh, this can go. Now, we had just got it that year, and I generally try to like hang on to stuff. But if my kids are genuinely like, I'm not going to play with that, I'm not going to hold on to it because there's some kid out there who will play with it. So it ended up going in the like free to a neighbor pile. But that oopsie poopsie game, and I'll tell you as a parent, not going to lie to you, it will get on your nerves hearing that little song and the come and find me and all of that. So if you are the type of person who does not like noisy toys, repetitive toys, do not get your kids the oopsie poopsie game. And like I said, there was a bluey hide and seek version that came out, and a bingo hide and seek version I think that you can get, that I saw a couple times, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, maybe my 2-year-old will like it because it's bluey. But then I was like, no, if she reacts the same way, and I know some people will say, but she's not her sisters, and she plays and does with whatever her sisters play and do. She's in that stage. So if they ignore it, she's gonna ignore it. So therefore I left it. Now that's not saying don't get that for your kid, they wouldn't enjoy it. That is just saying that for us, that was a huge miss. So, and when I say they played with it on Christmas Day, I mean, it might have got 2 minutes of love before they were on to something else that they wanted to do. They enjoy like sit down board games like Uno and what else do we like? Life and Hungry Hungry Hippo. So those are some good board games if you have a kid who loves board games like mine. My girls absolutely love board games. As you saw on my what I got my kid for Christmas and what I'll wrap here shortly, I got my 9-year-old Sorry. We still have a couple of like old school Hasbro games I haven't gotten for them yet. I tried to like add them mostly at the holidays. So next year, I will probably look into finally adding Twister, even though Mom probably won't be playing too much Twister with them. They can get down on the ground. I need to get back in shape, no lie. But they'll have fun, so that's something I'll probably invest in next year. But yes, they love board games, so those have always been hits in our household. Now, things that are mid for my kids. It really depends, but oftentimes, oh, let me start labeling because I'm gifting, and generally I try to stick to the rule of, one wrapping paper per kid. But if I start running low, and even though I buy the reversible wrapping paper from Costco, if you don't do that and you have a Costco membership, or if you don't and you know somebody who does, the reversible rolls from Costco are everything, because you can wrap multiple presents for multiple people using the same roll. So I always stock up each year that I need to. I don't do it every year. Like, I'm a little worried that I actually didn't stock up this year because I'm worried I might run out. But we'll make it do what we can with what we got. But yes, wrapping paper aside, so some stuff that has been mid. Now, something my girls absolutely love to do, I talked about this again in some of my past videos, and I have dress up stuff over here, is dress up. But who they dress up as can sometimes depend on if it is a hit or a miss or a mid. Most of the time, it's a hit. There's been a couple times where it was a miss. Like one year, I always try to do a theme gift for my girls. So this year, I really didn't, which is interesting. Just realizing I did not do a theme gift. But in the past, I've done, like last year, even though, no, was it the year before? The year before, because I think last year was the first year I actually recorded, but the year before I did like a whole camping vlogger set. And what I mean by that is I got those little like $20 kid cameras that were all the rage, that are still the rage. People are still getting them, the little like character digital cameras. I got an action kind of GoPro style one for my older one, and then a regular looking kind of camera for my middle daughter. And I got them sleeping bags, and I got them like this fake camping place set. And I was for sure that because they were all going on adventures in their room and like making forts and stuff. And so mom was like, oh, I'm gonna get them sleeping bags and they can make these fake videos for their like fake YouTube channel, because they really want to do YouTube, but mom's just not comfortable letting them do that yet. And so I did get all of that, and I thought it was going to be this huge success gift, and I'm going to rate that one as mid. My kids are kind of like, oh, cool, okay. And they use the sleeping bags. So let me say, the reason I'm rating it as mid is because they played with it, but not the way I envisioned. So they got use out of it. So it's not like it was a total failure gift. They definitely got use out of it, but they slept in the sleeping bags, and they would do like camp outs in mom's room or in the living room on like the nights that we do like family movie night, and we all sleep in the loft or in the family room together. So that's what the sleeping bags got used for. The cameras, they didn't really use them because mom failed, got them too small. So they have ones that are like this big, and then they have ones that are kind of like this big. I accidentally got the ones that were like this big, and by the time I realized it, my Amazon return window was closed. So I still gave them to them, but I think that was the mistake with the cameras. They used them, but they were really too small to like see the screen, so they just were not that interested in the cameras. Forgive the scissor cutting. And then like the camping stuff, they used it, but it wasn't one of the first things that they gravitated towards. So I decided that that's probably why I haven't done a theme gift this year. And I don't think I did one last year. And then the previous year, I did like doctor play stuff. So I got them like kids scrubs, and I got them real working stethoscopes and like real doctor supplies. Because like I told you in my video when I was talking to Santa and stuff, kids love to play with the real deal. Yes, they like the imaginative, like Melissa and Doug style doctor sets, or, you know, other brand kid style stuff. But if you can give them, like if you can budget to be able to give them the real stuff, and the real stuff, especially on Amazon, really doesn't cost that much. Like I thought I was going to come out of pocket a lot of money to get them a real stethoscope, or like a real, I don't want to say it wrong, the thing that goes in your ear. They have one that you can get like for consumers on Amazon. I had gotten them one of those, and that was it. And then I do a lot of crafting, so I was into sublimation at one point, so I sublimated them some kid like doctor badges with their real pictures on it and stuff like that. That was a hit. They loved that. My mother-in-law got them white coats and something else to kind of tag team in on the gift. The girls absolutely love that one. They loved being able to play Doctor for real. I think I did get like a little Tykes actual doctor set to go with it for the pieces of things that I couldn't find for real. But I think I found like a thermometer at the Dollar Tree. So like if you can get the real thing and like package it together into a single gift, kids that I've encountered, but especially my girls, love stuff like that. Alrighty, so I think we are done labeling gifts for my youngest. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that is the 5 gifts for my youngest. And so, yes, but again, if you can get like real stuff that kids can play with that looks like the thing that the doctors or the person who's actually doing the career that you're building your gift off does in real life, always goes across, in my opinion, a lot better than like the kid made stuff. Now, of course, it's all about budgets and what your budget allows. So if your budget only allows, to get the kid branded stuff, then there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So that's not me saying you got to break the bank to get real stuff. That's just me sharing something that I found that works in our family. So I will continue to, maybe as my youngest gets older, to find her some theme gifts. And for the older girls too, they still like to do imaginative play too. So as you saw, like my middle girl is getting guest checks and a server's notebook from Santa. And so to go, because she loves to play restaurant. And then my sister in her huge gift haul got them each little waitress apron. She got a 3-pack for like $10 on Amazon. So they'll each have their own little aprons, waitress, and they can play make-believe. And I'm sure it's something they were definitely going to do while my sister and my brother-in-law and me and my husband are all here chilling at the house, and their grandparents, they'll probably make us play restaurant with their new Christmas gifts so that they can be waitresses. So imaginative play with real life items is one of my tips. So now we will move on to a wrapping for my middle daughter. And I have to remember, I think this one is hers. So she has generally loved most of her gifts. She is my kid who is just grateful for whatever it is that she gets. She generally doesn't make a huge fuss about things she doesn't like. She still smiles. I've raised all my girls to be that way, though my 2-year-old is still learning. Sometimes it's not that she doesn't like she's formed an opinion, in my opinion. It's just if she's not in the mood, she might be like, thanks, no thanks, see ya, bye. So she will sometimes not. My oldest, she's pretty good, though she's reaching that kind of preteen stage where she's too cool for school. So you might get like a, thanks, but it's not like, oh my gosh, unless it's something she really, really wants. Like when we did our December 1st bags, I told you all in that video, she was going to go nuts over that Minecraft candy cane. And boy, did she. She did a full lap around the living room over her Minecraft candy cane. Then, when we went to see Santa this past weekend, she told Santa the only thing that she wanted him to bring her was a box of her own candy canes. And Santa was like, oh, okay, sure. So I asked him, like, oh, do you want Santa to bring you flavored candy canes or just regular? She's like, nope, Santa knows to bring me regular peppermint candy canes. So Santa is going to bring her regular peppermint candy canes, her own full pack of 12. But candy, again, and a lot of people use candy as a stocking stuffer, but you can definitely give it as a gift, and I think most kids will be happy. But that was the most animated that I had seen my 9-year-old about a gift in a long time, that Minecraft candy cane from one of my, it was either in the December 1st bag or I was in the stocking video. It might have been in the December 1st bag video, and then, or no, in the stocking video, and then moved over because Santa said that he didn't need that he had too much stuff so that if I wanted to use it, so I might have moved it over after me and Santa's conversation. And so, ooh, that's something we can talk about quickly, but candy, always a hit. So I know people are always curious about, what people are doing in their different households. So I think I've explained it in another video, but if this is your first time joining me, or even if you've been here before, it's just a quick reminder. So the way that Santa works in our household is Santa fills the stockings. And when we go and we see Santa for our family Christmas photos, the girls can ask Santa for whatever it is they want, but I just remind them that, Santa works differently in everybody's household, and he talks to different parents and asks them what's appropriate for their household. And so I've told them that I told Santa in our household, Santa doesn't give big, expensive, elaborate gifts. Santa just brings, moderate stuff, because he recognizes that he unfortunately can't give large gifts to every single child. And so they always know to ask Santa for something appropriate, or something that mommy has kind of spoken to them about what mommy feels is appropriate for our household for Santa to bring. So this year, like I said, my 9-year-old asked Santa for a box of candy canes. My 6-year-old asked Santa for a Barbie doll. So Santa already assured me that she is going to get a Barbie doll. And then my 2-year-old totally ignores Santa when Santa asks what she wants. So Santa said he'll just make it up, and we were good with that. So we're excited to see what Santa adds to their stockings that he had not already sent down to me from the North Pole when we went to go see him. So that is what my way Santa kind of works in our household. So all the big gifts come from mom and dad, and then Santa includes, things. So in the past, Santa's brought like lower price lower price Switch games. He has brought something Stitch, the Disney character, before, but I meant Switch game. He usually just brings like things that are generally around $20 and under, $15 and under, that the girls request. So I appreciate that Santa works with me and honors, our commitment. And when we go see Santa, my girls know that that is Santa's helper, and that Santa has all his helpers who come and dress up as him so that he can be out and about, and folks won't know if they're really seeing Santa or not. So you could be meeting the real Santa, or you could be meeting one of Santa's helpers, and you won't know until you're fully grown. So that is what we say about Santa in our household. And the girls respect it. They love it. They've learned that, everybody's tradition is different, how different parents want to do Santa in their household. Or we do Elf on the Shelf, how different parents want to do Elf on the Shelf in their household is entirely up to them. And so I know some people, are not for, introducing Santa in their household, while others are. And so I consider myself to be a mom's mom. I say, do what works for you. So if you want Santa in your household and you want Santa to give all the gifts, hey, that is what you and Santa discussed, and that works for your household. And my kids know to respect that. If your kid comes along and says, oh, Santa gives all the gifts in my household, they're like, oh, that's cool that your parents, talked about that and decided to let Santa do that. My parents made a different choice. And so that's kind of how we approach it. So in case you were curious, and I know, like I said, that can sometimes be a controversial topic, but I don't mind, just sharing that that's how we've chosen to move forward in our household. So let's see. What are some other hit and miss gifts from years past? I'm thinking about birthdays and stuff too. Um, art supplies, arts and crafts, always a hit. I don't think there's any art and craft supply that I can think of that, or toy that has ever been, I over measured that, but that's okay, that has ever been a miss with my girls. Oh, I'm trying to think. No, the only thing that might be a miss for mom is when people have gifted them kinetic sand or Play-Doh or stuff like that. Now, I am not the mom who was like, oh, you can never play Play-Doh or kinetic sand or slime. But I am the mom who says if you do that, you have to do it outside. You're not allowed to do it in my home. And you have to do it on a specific table that mommy has that you can use, and on top of a tablecloth so it can easily be disposed of. Yes, I know that's like, oh, that's so anal, and your kids are just gonna be kids, but kids are just gonna be kids who don't wanna clean it up. And mommy gets tired sometimes of cleaning it up. So that might be a miss for me in that I just only let them do it outside. And so they don't always get to do it as often as they probably wish they could. So that's something to think about if you're going to gift someone else's child Play-Doh or slime or kinetic sand. You know, figure out if it's the rule or what the rule is in their household. Because my sister-in-law does not let her kids do Play-Doh, kinetic sand, slime, any of it in her house, period. Now, she's like me. Sometimes she might be nice and let them do it outside, but for the most part, it's a hard no. So when me and my other sister-in-law have like bought them stuff like that in the past, and we go back and ask our nieces and nephews, ooh, did they get to play with it? No. So think about that. Think about asking the parent if this is something that you're actually going to let your kid play with before you spend your hard-earned money on it. It's okay to respect parents' wishes. I know some people are like, you can't tell me, you know, what to buy or what to do with my money, and that is very true. But I'm also about you not wasting your money. So if you buy something and I'm not going to allow the kids to play with it, or the kids themselves are just not going to be interested in it, I want to let you know so that you can put that money towards something else. And that's not being ungrateful or unappreciative. That's really just, in my opinion, trying to be considerate about, you know, where your money is going. So you got to do, like I said, what works best for you at all times, for your household or for the households of the people that you're going to be gifting to. So that's kind of just a little bit more about me and what the holidays look like. So my girls have family on both sides. I have a sister and a brother-in-law, and then thankfully both of my parents are still here with me, so they get gifts from my parents and from their aunt and uncle. And then they have two aunts and both grandparents on my husband's side. So they get a bunch of gifts, probably too many gifts. Plus I have an uncle who gifts them. So the other reason that I try to be intentional, mindful, and practical about gifts, because they get a lot. They're at an age where they are truly, truly blessed, and they get a lot of gifts. And so, oh yeah, I have that. So I don't want them to be too overly stimulated. Now, I appreciate my mom because my mom, she is a buyer. She loves gift giving, but in the more recent years, she has been all about experience gifts. So she wants to give the girls, okay, I'm gonna have to use this for something else. I should have measured first, but she loves to give the girls experiences. So this year she is giving them a huge experience, which she already had to tell them about, but she is taking them, let's measure this time because yeah, I don't want to waste another piece. She is giving them, be safe when wrapping. You know, don't leave your scissors sitting on the edge like I just did, and now I have to try to bend down and pick up. But she's giving the girls a trip this year for Christmas. So again, we are highly blessed and favored that she is willing to do that for our girls. So they're going somewhere really fun that she wants to be able to take them. and that they want to do. They've been to this place before, so they're excited to be going back. So I'm looking forward to making memories with my parents as they're growing older and with my girls. So if you are someone who is in a position, especially if you're a grandparent or something, and your budget allows, one of the best gifts that I personally believe that you can give your grandkids and even your older adult children is experience gifts. Take them somewhere, make a memory, because yeah, material items are nice and there are some that we do need, but there is nothing that beats getting to travel somewhere together, experience new things together, just take in a new place together. And it doesn't have to be far. If you do a staycation at somewhere you've never been in a city that you all live in, if you all live close to each other, if you go somewhere far, if you go to an exotic island, if you go to a play place, the movies, like it doesn't matter. But being able to build a memory together is one of like my favorite things to do with my kids. So on their birthdays, we do prioritize experience gifts a lot, but I appreciate that for the holidays, my mom tends to do a lot of experience gift giving. So I really encourage you, if experience gifts aren't your forte or something that you've done just yet, I encourage you to reconsider because they are some of the best gifts. So now back to wrapping this. Oh, yeah, I dropped my scissors. Ha! So let me pick those up. Oh, ooh, look at that. Okay. So what else? In terms of like family traditions, what do we do as a family at the holidays? So we generally, y'all, what is wrong with me? I thought for sure I measured that correctly. I am doing a horrible job at wrapping on this camera. So again, y'all don't judge me. Just forgive. Everybody is not the former department store holiday wrapper. I surely am not, but I'm going to salvage this piece because I refuse to cut another piece. And my kids could care less about what the wrapping paper looks like. It is generally mommy who is the one that's like, oh, it needs to look a certain way. But today, I am really just not caring. Nope. How can I do this now that I have... Where are all my wrapping experts? I need one of y'all to come save me because yes, I have done it again. And yes, I'm going to waste another piece. I'm not going to waste it. It's going to get turned into wrapping paper for someone else's gift that's going outside of the family. So yes. Now, I showed you the gift for my niece. She's getting the same Disney Darling doll that I got my 2-year-old. And then I have older nieces and nephews, and they are beyond the point of really wanting gifts. So when they've gotten to that age where it's like, meh, there's nothing I really want, or if they really want something, it's beyond the like price point that we've chosen to do as aunts and uncles on my husband's side. So their parents take care of that. So for my nephews who are teenagers, I got them gift cards. And then for my middle nephew who's a preteen, I got him a gift card. So my nephews are just getting gift cards. And then my sister's children are just getting cash. Like, so if you have older preteens or teens, I truly think you cannot just go wrong with giving them gift card or cash and letting them do their own thing. Ooh, success that time. But yeah, just letting them do their own thing, because something will come up that they will think about that they want to use the gift card or the cash on, and I'd much rather do that than try to make up something that I think they will like. And I know some people are like, oh, gift cards or cash is so impersonal. It's actually, I say the opposite. It's one of the most personal gifts that you can give somebody. The money that you worked hard for to earn and that you are now gifting to someone else that they don't have to work hard for to earn. I think that's actually a pretty personal gift, in my opinion. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. And again, to me, is the most practical. I do it for adults too. If an adult can't tell me something that they're interested in, hey, here is cash. So when the need arises, you can go and get that thing for yourself. So that is generally what I gift my in-laws at the holidays too. They get gift cards or cash. My parents get gift cards or cash. My sister or my sister-in-laws and their partners get gift cards or cash or scratch offs. Now, scratch offs is one of those things that's controversial. If you don't do gambling, then scratch offs, lottery tickets, probably not a good gift idea, but it's something that pretty much everybody in my family on both sides is into. So we generally do stocking stuffer, scratch offs for everybody, and then like a cash or a gift card gift for those who get gifts. So those are more gift ideas if that is not something that you generally consider doing. All right, I think that is 1, 2, 3. What am I missing for her? Yo, I'm missing something. I have no clue what I'm missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need to consult the list because now I'm like, what did I get her that I am not accounting for? So let's see. Duh. Okay, it's their blankets. So I already have their blankets ready to go. So the last person that we'll wrap for is my oldest daughter. And then we'll kind of chit chat a little bit about what I do in terms of gifts for my husband. Because I don't film what I got my husband for Christmas or in his stocking video because he will watch it. So if you've got a spouse who's gonna watch it, I totally understand why you would not film it. So hopefully you can understand why I don't film it. But I'll talk a little bit about what me and my husband do while I wrap for my oldest. Alrighty, so on to my oldest and wrapping her gifts. So me and my husband, what do we do at the holidays for one another? It really depends on the year. Now, I will say that I'm blessed that I have a husband who had a good example growing up. My father-in-law, still to this day, makes sure that my mother-in-law's stocking is filled and that she's got gifts under the tree. And so my husband follows suit. He makes sure that, I have a gift, that my stocking's empty, that my girls are seeing what it's supposed to look like to love and honor your wife. So I appreciate that my in-laws gave him that strong foundation and that he's passing it on to his girls. So generally, in the past, depending upon our budget, for the girls, we will determine what our budget for each other is because we want to be realistic. We've got life goals. We want to be able to retire one day. So we try not to go too overboard. We have generally in the past averaged about $200 for each other, if that. So sometimes it'll be more or less like we'll do like $100 on the stocking and $100 big gift or $100 worth of gifts to each other. Some years we will say, let's do an appliance or something for the house, and that's our gift to each other. Other years, we lessen the budget, we increase the budget. It really just depends on what it is we're feeling that year. So this year, we have said no big gifts, that we'll probably like do smaller little stocking stuffer items or maybe like a small something if we see, but there's nothing that either of us really wants or needs right now. We're the type to shop for what we need or want during the year. And then if my husband says, oh, I need this thing, even though it's the holidays, if he says I need it, like he needed new headphones, I saw headphones during Black Friday. Yes, I could have put them up for Christmas Day, but why make him wait for something that he needs? So I just went ahead and gave them to him as an early Christmas gift. So it's stuff like that. We kind of just do what works for us. So that's kind of how we do our spouse gifts in our household. Now, I'll talk about some of the hits and misses with our spouse gifts. We generally take the surprise out of it. And I know a lot of people are like, that's so boring. That's not fun. Who wants to know what they're getting? And it's not necessarily that we know what we're getting, but we do make wish lists for each other on Amazon to give each other ideas of things that we might actually use and want. So generally, we have the list set up, so even if one of us buys off the list, you can't see what was bought off the list. But sometimes when you're going to check the Amazon to see, oh, is this package on the way, you might see another package was been bought. Now, we try to do good and honor each other if we see somebody bought something, to act like we didn't see it. But we're just not really big on the element of surprise anymore. We've been married for over a decade now. And so every once in a while, we'll try to like do things to surprise each other. But for the most part, at the holidays, we try to tell each other, hey, this is what I want, or this is what you can get me. Now, for birthdays, Valentine's Day, anniversary, we do try to bring back the surprise element. And so we'll do it at that time. Did I size this correctly, or am I going to have to use this for something else? Let's see. Just short. All right, let's use it for the doll then. So that's really kind of what we do in terms of our spouse gifts. And then last but not least, I think some, again, the hits and the misses. So one year, or was it last year? I think it was last year. Last Christmas, my mom got my husband a Bartesian for Christmas. And so I think for Valentine's Day, and even at Christmas too, I think at Valentine's Day I just replenished him. But at Christmas, I got him some of the pods because it worked kind of like a Keurig coffee machine, only for adult beverages. And so I got him some of the drink pods to go with it because I knew she was getting him that. And then I did it again at Valentine's Day. So that was a miss. I mean, not a miss. That was a hit, filling in, giving him supplies that he needed. Anything golf, my husband loves golf. So anything golf related or football related. He is a huge Jaguars fan. So anytime I do anything Jaguars, he loves that. Now I'm a Cowboys fan. So every few years we are a house divided because there are some years where the Jaguars and the Cowboys do play when they come up in the rotation. So we're a house divided, but he generally gets me Cowboys gear, though I kind of have said I'm Cowboys geared out. I don't wear it as much as I used to. I wear a lot of Disney inspired stuff now. So he generally tends to like find me Disney inspired stuff instead of like sports stuff anymore. So that's always been a hit for me. Like if you have a fandom or something you love, certainly encourage people to support you in your fandom because having fandoms can get expensive. So my biggest fandoms, Disney's a fandom. Recently, Stranger Things has become a fandom. I'm obsessed with Stranger Things at the moment and excited for the big finale on Christmas Day. What else are some of my other fandoms? Said the Dallas Cowboys are a fandom. I think those are like my biggest fandoms. Disney, the Dallas Cowboys, and recently Stranger Things. And then of course like 90s nostalgic stuff. So like if I see things like when the Clueless 30th anniversary stuff came out not too long ago, my husband got me the Dion Loungefly because I'm a sucker for 90s millennial nostalgic stuff. I love it. So those are probably like my biggest collector fandom items. So that's a good gift idea if you're kind of struggling to think about what you should tell people to get you. This is a brand new Sharpie and it is not writing. I don't know if it is the tags or the Sharpie. Let's try it again. So there we go. So that's something I say I have never been a beauty guru, so makeup in me tends to not be a big gift, but I know for my sister who is, makeup is always a fail-safe. So if you've got adult beauty lovers in your life, getting them makeup is perfectly wonderful. Let's see, is there anything else that has been a miss for me? Expensive jewelry is a miss for me. I am not an expensive jewelry girly. I am not the girly who loves like big name brand stuff. I know. I mean, everybody's got their thing. Like I just said, I always tell my sister-in-laws that my lounge flies are my designer bags because I love my lounge flies. That's what I like to carry. So I would much prefer that to like having a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton or a Prada bag or a Fendi bag. And I appreciate that my husband and people support me in that. So they'll give me lounge flies and stuff. So I think, yeah, you got to tell people the things that you love. And trust them to also pay attention. But if people aren't around you 24/7, expecting them to know what you like isn't always realistic. So make sure you're communicating. It's important to communicate, especially at the holidays. But yeah, so those are probably some of the like big hits or misses. I can't think of a miss that I've ever had with my husband because, like I said, we tell each other kind of ideas. So I've never just tried to go out on a whim and be like, oh, I'm going to get him this thing in hopes that he likes it. So I can't tell you any husband misses like I did with the kids. But yeah, so I'm excited for this holiday season. Some of our traditions that we do, we go see Santa. So we've already gone to do that. We did that this past weekend. We are going to go to Grinchmas at Universal Orlando. They have like their holiday stuff. It's free. So again, experience idea. If your budget can allow it and you can come to the Orlando, Florida area and go to Universal, unlike Disney, who has a very Merry Mickey Christmas party, which is an extra expense. Universal does their Grinchmas celebration, price included, if you buy a ticket to Island of Adventure, where the Dr. Seuss area is located and where they do Grinchmas. And they have a cute little Grinch inspired show that we go to see. So we're going to go see that again this year. We went last year. And so that's kind of like our big traditions. Then my mother-in-law throws a Christmas Eve party. So we always try to be there for her Christmas Eve party. So we'll do that. And then Christmas Day, we just kind of split the day. I know this is a controversial topic between the generations about, what travel looks like, whose traditions you're supposed to honor. Me and my husband have had several conversations about what it should look like for our household. And we've involved, sorry, forgive the ASMR for a second with cutting if it's noisy, but we've also involved the kids in those discussions because sometimes as adults, we want to make the decision, but it's also like, what do the kids want? I mean, while the holidays is about everybody and family, we tend to focus a lot of it on the kids. And so if the kids want to be somewhere or they want to travel so they can be a part of something, I think as parents, it's our duty to honor that if we're positioned to do so. Everybody's not positioned to do so. Everybody's family dynamic looks different. So that is in no way an endorsement to say, oh, you should definitely travel at the holidays to go and be with certain family if that's not conducive to your holiday traditions. But if it's something that your kids have expressed that they'd really like to do, I encourage you to certainly consider it, because at one point me and my husband were thinking about, oh, maybe we shouldn't, put ourselves through traveling for the Christmas Eve holiday, and we were going to try to change the tradition. But our kids expressed like, no, we really want to be able to do both. And we understand that we may not be able to be in our house and open up all of our gifts on Christmas morning because we're traveling to be with our family. And that showed me as a parent that me and my husband are doing something right, that our kids are already mindful and cognizant of, what it is that they want to be able to do. So we try to, when appropriate, give them that level of input and autonomy to have a say in family matters. So that is my kind of take on that. I encourage you, of course, to do what works well for you and your family. But I feel like I have been on here yapping forever. I've only got a couple more gifts to wrap. So I appreciate you for hanging out with me. Hopefully something that was shared in this video inspires you. I'd love for you to tell me down in the comments below, what are your holiday traditions? What are some of the hits and misses or maybe mid gifts that you've given your kids that you are like, if you're a parent looking at this, or a grandparent or aunt or uncle or a family friend who's considering gifting this thing, here's something to think about. So drop that down in the comments below. But again, I appreciate you being here with me, and I hope that you have a beautiful holiday season. I think this is gonna wrap up my holiday videos for this season because I'm excited to get back to watching all of my favorite creators and their holiday content this season. But make sure you come back and join me around January for the after holiday sales as I get ready to find my girls things for Valentine's Day and for Easter. Because tip or trick, I'm sure you've heard on other people's channels, but I'll reiterate for you here, shopping the post-holiday sales, like around January when they do the toy clearance and all the holiday stuff goes to like 70-90%, is some of the best times to find stuff for Valentine's Day love baskets or for Easter baskets later on in the year, and even birthday gifts and stuff too. So I'll be doing maybe my very first shop with me during the post-holiday season. Like I said, I will definitely be back to share with you what I am putting in my girls' Valentine's Day love baskets and their Easter baskets. And if I can remember in the frenzy later this summer, I will try to share with you what I got them for their birthdays, because that was a fail this past summer, but they got some pretty good stuff. So maybe I will do a separate kind of hit miss mid video on their past birthday gifts, since I really need to talk about their birthday gifts like I plan to in this video, and let you know how some of those past birthday gifts went. So thank you so much again for tuning in and hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure and a joy, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy holidays!